replay purposes, this is the beginning of the roll call and league breakdown introduction. This is the video version of what that super long post was about the other day, and I've got it all broken down, and we're going to talk about it. As far as the replay goes, this is week 3, me versus Aris. I actually forget how this goes, but this is just a showcase of some really popular battles last season. And the second video that we have queued up is the first battle of the Jays. I think it's the first battle of the Jays. This is week 3, my replay. That one's week 4. I think that's the first time they fought each other. So it's the very first battle of the Jays, which were all really, really good battles. If you don't know anything, yeah, if you don't know anything about it, we had 2 players. One's name is Jay, and the other's name is Jordan. But he wrote Jay as his player name, so it got kind of confusing a little bit in the replay process.
God, yes. I'll be honest, I got their names mixed up like literally all the time. I kind of still do, honestly.
Right, so when they would fight each other, oh, he forgot his DS. I gotta call him. Hang on a sec, guys. When they fought each other, we used to call it the Battle of the Jays, and they actually ended up being really good battles.
Oh my God, yes. The Battle of the Jays were hyped. I was so hyped, yo. I was so hyped for playoffs last year when we had to battle the Jays.
There was going to be like a playoffs battle of the Jays that didn't end up happening. Super disappointing. Actually, you know what I think should happen? I think that's one of the exhibitions we should do. I think we should have them, because we have a record of what their final teams were. We should do a battle. We should do a battle, exhibition battle, where they actually play their best of.
I would actually really love that.
Yeah, no, we should do that, and I'm not saying we're going to reverse any verdicts on Season 3, I'm saying, though, like, then if Jordan won that, or if Jay won it, it's whatever. If Jordan won that, I want to have an exhibition between you and him to see how that would have gone with your finals teams.
Okay.
Yeah, doesn't that sound crazy? That would be fun. I'm gonna suggest that today. That might be on next week's stream.
Yeah, we should. I was about to say we should do that next week.
But today, here we go. Visual graphic numero uno. This is the introduction, guys. So I've already gone over what the league is. You should be aware if you watched earlier. But for replay purposes, we are a draft style league. We participate in a league where you sign up, we get our number of players, we make a pre-composed draft list of Pokemon, where each player can draft at least 12 Pokemon. Like, there's enough Pokemon on the list, depending on the number of players, for 12. So, for instance, if we have 15 players, there's 180 Pokemon on the draft list, which is what we're planning for right now. We're not sure if we have the full 15 yet. I think we hit 13, but I'm not sure if we're gonna hit 14 or 15. Here's the cool part about it, though. If we do hit like an odd number, then we can actually give players bye weeks, which is awesome. Like, one player a week will get a week off.
Yeah. That'd be tight.
It helps.
So how many do we have signed up right now?
We have, I think, 13. Let me go count them. By the way, do you see the graphics, Zach? Are you looking at the stream?
I'm watching the stream. I'm seeing introduction. That's it.
Cool. Because that's what this is. This is the introduction. So far, this is what we have on our roll call. If you are a member of the Pokemon League Championship Facebook group, or if you joined today, the pinned post is our roll call sheet for Season 3. The roll call is open right now still. We're going to close it probably Monday, especially because Thanksgiving is coming. Maybe Tuesday, depending on how we feel about it. But basically, the players that have already signed up, we have Steven Soper, who was the earlier commentator that had to leave. We have Jalen. I'm not going to do any more last names. He was a contender last season. This is going to be his second season.
I'm really excited for him.
He went dead last season. He only had 1 win. was no shame because he actually got a win against the player that went to finals. So
Did
no
he
shame.
did he win against Will? I think he did.
Oh, and he beat Will?
I think he beat Will.
Well, I'm not sure about that. We'll have to revisit that later. I forget. I think that Will beat him though because Will really wanted it. But because Will was like, I can still make finals, and it's like, no, you can't.
Well,
Like,
this was like the last match of the before like playoffs.
yeah. So that was funny that they were the two bottom players and they ended up fighting each other in the last week. But
Yeah.
Jalen actually learned a lot last season. He's coming back with a vengeance. I'm actually going to come out with a series of videos specifically targeted at some things he has asked questions of me about, and also just general questions for other Pokemon players, like breeding. I consider myself a master breeder. I know all the tricks, and how to do everything. So I'm going to come out with a video about breeding. I'm going to come out with a video about team composition. These aren't going to be the streams. They're just going to be straight up videos that I construct and I'll throw up on our YouTube for you guys to check out and new players to check out. So Jalen's our second competitor. Obviously, I'm competing, so I'll go ahead and take third competitor. Mike Henderson signed up on the roll call post. He wasn't. Oh, I'm sorry about giving away his last name again. Yeah, he wasn't on Facebook. He's gone social media dark, but he was definitely signing up. He got in contact with me, said I'm signing up, so I made a post signing him up. That's our 1, 2, 3, 4th player. Now 5th player is you, Zach. You signed up. It was a little late, but whatever. You signed in. And I know you didn't even read the whole thing, which sucks, but there is a lot of good information in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and go over all of it today. So that's our 6th player, right? You're our 6th player?
Yep.
Josh Denmark. Damn it, stop with the last names, Ian. I'm sorry. He's joining as well. He's a new player. He's been in our group for a couple of months now. He fought in our Mount Moon tournament. He's a really fucking cool dude. He did really well. He has some still learning some things. Like, I think the other day he didn't know that burn reduced the stage of attack, paralysis reduced the stage of speed. Like, he didn't know that some of the nuances. So there's going to be a bit of a learning curve, but hopefully we'll make some videos that he can check out that will actually, like, clarify some of the smaller nuances that you might not know about battling, like the advanced shit that you might not understand.
Right.
So that's our 7th player. 8th player, actually friend of Josh, came in on Josh's request. He's a pretty exuberant player, man. I like him. He did a really good job in the Mount Moon tournament too. He's been around for a couple of months as well. John's joining, so we have a lot of J's in our league, unfortunately, which is why we demand that they all have different names. And that's our 8th player. Yep, that's our 8th player. Jordan signing up again. Our league secretary, records keeper, does it all for us. He is signing up. So that's our 9th player. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to recount them anyway. Jay signed back up, the cleaner. He's back. He's ready to do what he's got to do to get to playoffs and make it all the way to finals. So that's another player on the roster. This is his 2nd season coming in. William joining again. William played in season 1. He placed dead last, but we were only 5 players back then, so you know it wasn't really that dominating. But he did only get 1 win that season, which is kind of like what Jalen did the next season. William did a little bit better last season, and he's going to do a lot better this season. He's learned a lot, and he has signed up. We got a new player, Chris, who is checking it out for the first time. I would say he's a bit of a tentative player. We're not 100% sure if he's committed, but we're doing an initial roll call. Then we'll finalize the roll call in December for players that were iffy if they wanted to join or not, to make sure that they know about the commitment and if they're willing to do it. We're not starting the season until after the holidays, after like New Year's. So we'll coordinate that with all our players. Then the champ coming back for his 3rd season, Aris, ready to try to go for it again. And I think, let me count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I'm 12 actually. So we're at 12 right now, I guess. I could have swore we hit 13, but you know, I'm bad at maths. So that's our player roster. Steven, Jalen, myself, Mike, Zach, Josh, John, Jordan, Jay, William, Chris, and Aris so far are our confirmed players on roll call. If you would like to join the upcoming season, click our Facebook link up there in the chat, and you can join and read the stipulations or watch this video, and you'll be able to know if it's something for you. So that's it for the introduction portion of the video. I'm actually going to go ahead and start this replay as well, Zach, if you're ready.
Okay, yeah. So this is just making sure again.
Me versus Aris.
Okay.
Alright, so this is week 3, I believe. Yeah, this is week 3. And I forget.
I remember when I went back through the matches for the video guy. I remember this match being really good.
Yeah, this one's really interesting. That's why I queued it up. And this is still me kind of learning my team. Aris is last season's champ. I'm still getting familiar with doubles, but like I'm not. You know, I did a little bit of planning for him. I definitely tried to like make sure I knew what I was doing against him. But again,
right.
He definitely had better team composition than me, and he brought the smear goal on me, which I'm not sure if that gets play or not. But let's go ahead and watch it. You ready?
Yep. Ready when you are, bro.
1, 2, 3, go. And now we're going on to our second topic after introduction. Time frame, schedule, and commitment. So, the league takes place over the course of anywhere from, alright, so minus the draft, battle weeks, anywhere from 15 weeks to like 16, depending on the number of players we we have to accommodate more weeks if we have, an excess amount of players. Let me move this into a better frame. So we have to do, we have to play around with our time frames just in case, we just have more players.
Right.
If we have more players, we have more weeks. That's just how it goes. Anyway, the schedule and the commitment, and this is what we ask of players to kind of commit to. Oh, I got a trick room off there. This is what the schedule that we ask you to commit to. So we go through basically an entire week. I'll go through every day for you, really. Some days we actually get to skip. So every Sunday we do the stream. I know a lot of you watching already are aware of that. And Monday is basically the start of the upcoming week of battles. So this is when you would schedule your battle with your opponent. You could do that Sunday night too if you wanted to, but this is when you schedule. You can do it straight up on Monday if you coordinate it and you're both ready. But this is just the start of when you're able to really start coordinating for your upcoming battle. So every week we ask that you're gonna know your matchups far in advance. We're gonna have them all scheduled out for you, so you're gonna know who you're playing. And the commitment portion of it, we ask you that you kind of coordinate with us and fellow players. If you're willing to be in the chat that's on all the time, we're always talking. There is a Season 3 chat for players, or you can post general questions in the group, or you can DM players. We're all don't be shy to DM us. We had a player last season who we kept telling him we can help you breed, we can prep your Pokemon for you if you need to, if you need items, etc. He went the first 3 weeks without items.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people forget about that one, but that was
And
kind of a big deal.
Even Steven, it was he forgot to he had Sylveon with Hyper Voice. I mean, he had Sylveon, but he didn't have Hyper Voice on Sylveon because he didn't know the rules.
But that's not that's kind of not the same as forgetting an item. But yes, I understand.
Well, my point of it was is if you ever have like a question, like if you don't know if like this is okay to bring or something, or if this is good,
Find a
ask them.
confidant, find a player that you feel like you can trust in the league. Ask
Yeah,
them, and try to track down the information. Some of us are super helpful. I'm super helpful, but some people, there's a little bit of shadiness that goes on in the league. So I'm not saying we're bad people, but I'm saying it's a competition. So like, pick and choose who you trust to play test with and or help breed, etc. As far as items go, though, I would reach out to anybody because items basically don't matter.
right,
Um,
right.
so if you need battle items and stuff, hit us up. If you need like a certain Pokemon with maybe some egg moves, I would send that to a personal DM of somebody you know might have it, or one of our trusted power savers in the group.
Right.
But we actually had to instill a rule about that too. So like, now the rule is if you go into battle with your opponent and you notice like your opponent's missing items or something like that, you have to immediately end the battle, and then you both have to bring the same teams, but your opponent has time to go ahead and put the items on and stuff, because we want to avoid mistakes where like there's a win just because this person forgot an item. The only
Right.
and the caveat to that is that you both have to, since you both saw each other's teams, you do have to bring those same Pokemon back, but you basically give your opponent full
Right.
chance fighting.
So if like you led with like Torkoal or Rangaroo, and you like see like a Pokemon that directly counters that, like Rain or something, or like something
No, no,
crazy,
no. I was
you
straight
can't.
up talking. Hang on. I was straight up talking because you can see if the Pokemon have items on them in the battle introduction. So
Well,
that's
I was
even
just
what
saying.
we'll get to that. We'll get to your point. I know what you're talking about. But just in the stop before you even get to selecting your leads. Like if you,
I,
no matter what, stop before you get to selecting your leads, reset the match, go ahead and put your items on, and then go back in. But
I,
in the event that there's a disconnection, or there's like or somebody forgot to bring a Pokemon, like let's say you brought 5 Pokemon, which is a video that we watched last week, where somebody brought 5 Pokemon, and in those events, basically, you do have to bring the same team and same leads, but you can just basically end the match and restart.
right.
Yeah.
And like, I can't stress it enough. If you notice there's a problem, like you forgot a move on a Pokemon, or like you forgot to do something with your team, or if there's any problem at all,
Well,
immediately,
it, if
immediately
you're
just
in battle, like let's say you're 3 turns in and you forgot to put a move on a Mon, you gotta sit with that, buddy. I'm sorry, but like if you get leads out, and like before anything happens, end the
yeah, yeah,
match. But if something starts happening and the match starts going a certain way, like you already forfeited your chance to reset. Like you have to
yeah,
stick with your fuck up. But that's why you got to be perceptive of your own team.
yeah.
But so the schedule, back to the schedule. I'm sorry. That's the start of the battle week. Monday, you have to schedule your battles with your players. Coordinate with your opponent that week. You can get into our DMs, or you can make a public post tagging them in the group, and be like, when you ready to battle, and you guys can hash it out there or whatever. So that's Monday through Friday. Now that's Monday through Friday to really 11:59. I'll take stuff at like 2 in the morning or whatever. But your responsibility is, when you do have a battle with a player, you have to save the replay and post a picture of the replay with the battle code onto the group, because that's what we use to form these streams up, so everybody can commentate and be on the same page and stuff. And the replays also help even the playing field. It gives other players kind of insight onto what happened in the battle. It's how we operate, and one of the players has to go ahead and record it and then post the replay. But we stress that you finish your battles by Friday. There may be some exceptions in like extraordinary circumstances where you get until Saturday to send them, but we need all replays by like Friday at the latest, in big circumstances, Saturday at some point. You know what I mean? In like the
Yeah, like
worst possible, and we're not making a habit of it. In fact, I think we have like a ruling that we talked about that's in the rules right now about like excessive excessive forfeiting or
late.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and leaving and whatnot. But that's neither here nor there. That's if you join, you'll be privy to that. So,
And I mean, like, there are going to be some times where like both players have like conflicting schedules, and you guys just can't meet up
well,
until
no,
like.
that's the thing though. That's the thing. And I know this is harsh. A lot of people have lives, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. Like, bar like death in a family, one of our players in season 1 had a child week 1. He played that whole season. And kept
Yeah,
up
but
with our records. And furthermore, he's gonna have another child possibly in the playoffs of this season. Like there's another one on the way. Like and a couple of our other players have full like children that they have to take care of full time and stuff like that. Like there's no excuse if you're joining this league, and if you don't think you can, don't join it. There's no excuse to not be able to schedule a battle at any time between Monday and Friday. There just is no excuse.
well, Ian, my point I was trying to get at was, like if y'all have to schedule a battle late, like on Saturday and Sunday,
No,
if
no
y'all just
Sunday
can't.
battles. They're never a Sunday battle. If there's a reason that a player hasn't been able to play all week and can't make a Saturday battle,
I was only
that
saying
player
that
forfeits.
I was saying at worst case scenario, both players couldn't meet up.
Sunday
Both
is
like
no. Sunday is a no. Like I don't care if they both take an L and it's a 0-0. Like because Sunday is the day where we have to prepare everything for the stream, and like we need those battle replays. Like
Okay.
if it's 3 a.m. Sunday morning, okay.
All right. Anyway, yeah, if you all have like, we can understand if y'all have late battles. Just don't make a habit of it. If you know what I mean. Try not to schedule your match until the end of the week. If you can get it done out the way sooner than better, sooner better.
And I didn't mean to be such a jerk about that because it's really so simple. Like so you can start on Sunday on stream day, coordinating even the weekend of in the transfer weekend. You can coordinate with your opponent as soon as you're able to and be like, here are the times and days that I'm available to battle. Do any of these match up with your schedule? Or vice versa. Your opponent contacts you, etc. And like, you can even, I wouldn't prefer you didn't push it off, but you can contact your opponent on a Tuesday and make a Thursday battle or a Friday battle even if you have to. But like, contact your opponent, coordinate times. And the biggest reason that I say don't join if you can't do that is because we literally have to coordinate the draft where we're all available. So like the more players, the harder that is. And if you don't think that you have any, I mean, I'm literally saying this, and I know it's a bit harsh, but like we're gonna try to accommodate most players possible. But if there's a day that only works for like 90% of the players, but one player might have to work, we're gonna request that player take off work at that time. Like put in a 2 weeks beforehand request day off because like or otherwise don't commit to the season or they can't draft because we have to be able to draft all our players on the same time, same day. Zach?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
Alright, well, and here's the thing though, like, let's say you did commit to the time frame, because we all do have to agree on the time frame of the draft so that we can, because it's all of our schedules, you know what I mean? We all have to coordinate what time works best for everybody. And so, with that in mind, Like, we will coordinate to the best of our ability to meet everybody's schedule in the most ideal way possible, and we promise we'll start coordinating it in December so we can start getting a feel for what players have available. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of time to schedule this. We will be able to accommodate all of you. I'm just saying worst case scenario. You know what I mean? And here's an even worse case, or here's an even worse case scenario situation. We had a player last year that did commit to coming to the time. We all showed up. He was absent. He was kind of late in the draft though, so like he was like near the end. So we're like, we'll just keep drafting until we get to him. When we got to him, we had to make a decision, and this is what we'll do in this instance. We auto drafted him, and the way we did that was we basically let players in the same draft order, like the first draft pick got to be the first person to pick his first Pokemon because he was asleep, and like we had to auto draft him, and then next player, so on and so forth, as far as the draft goes. So if you do commit to the draft but you sleep through the draft, or like something comes up, you'll be auto drafted.
That's fair.
I think that's fair, right? Like, that's super fair. Yeah. And also keep in mind the caveat of the auto draft is that like we all are pretty nice guys. We're all pretty good players. So like when we ask players to auto draft each other, we ask them to do it with the most like respect to team composition. Like we're not asking them to like drop the dumps on this team, like all the crappiest Pokemon on this team. No, if you have the first pick for him and there's still a really good Pokemon up for grabs, give it to that player. You know what I mean? Like be
don't
cool about it. Yeah, don't be a dick about it. I don't think that I can be more clear than that. Don't be a dick about it. Yeah. So that's the time frame from Monday through Friday. Here's the best time frame. Here's what I've been waiting to talk about. 11:59 p.m. Friday. This is a crucial moment. It has nothing to do with your matches. Has absolutely nothing to do with your matches. At 11:59 p.m., that is the last minute before the transfer window opens. And what the transfer window is every week players have the ability to trade one Pokemon with another player's team, and then also drop one Pokemon from their team and pick up a Pokemon from our wire list. We'll have a list of Pokemon that are pretty dope that are on the wire list. So you drop a Pokemon for your team, put it onto the wire list. This is interesting in many ways. So that means that some players might drop a Pokemon from their team that you were interested in onto the wire, and now you don't have to trade for that Pokemon with that player, and you can just pick it up off the wire. So it kind of keeps your teams fresh, and it keeps the rotation going, and keeps the season fresh. Here's why 11:59 is important. Literally the second that 12 a.m. hits, which would be the technically Saturday morning, the transfer window opens. 12 a.m. Saturday morning, transfer window opens, and people will be dropping their picks. Like, if there's some fire on the wire, or if they got a really good trade already negotiated out, they will immediately drop that at 12, like, to the dot. And what we do is we have a transfer window post every week that we comment on to make all the official transfers, and that's what you would post your transfer on. So basically, let's say in the instance, 2 players posted the exact same Pokemon. It would be we would give it to the player who had the earliest time. If they were both at 12 p.m., it would go to the player whose comment was on top.
That sounds fair. I agree with that completely.
Yeah, and then the other player would be able to basically get a mulligan on getting a different Pokemon off the wire or whatever. In those instances. And those are extreme instances, although it did happen. I kept talking about it last season, and people were like, that's not going to happen. It happened twice last season in the same day.
Interesting.
In the same day. And so like don't underestimate that possibility, okay? It's very real. So Saturday through 11:59 p.m. Sunday evening. So like even after the stream, the transfer window's open. Some players like to use this strategically to be like, I'm not gonna drop this Pokemon onto the wire until the very last second, like 11:59:58, like because I don't want anybody else to pick it up because it's too powerful or what, you know what I mean? Like somebody else has a wire pickup they've been saving until super late, or maybe they're not. Maybe they just didn't want to pick anything up. But then you drop that Pokemon and they pick it up, and you don't want them to have it. Like so, some players use that strategically as well. But it closes at 11:59 Sunday, and that is the last time you can make transfers. No exceptions, only because it does impede other players' decisions. Like let's say you didn't post it at 11:59 and somebody else had an emergency post at 11:59 and you were going to drop something that they were going to pick up if you dropped it. Like to avoid those instances, never again. Like you don't get to choose if you miss the 11:59 cutoff and it's 12 a.m. Monday morning, you don't get to transfer anymore. So that's your weekly schedule, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think we're actually into the next battle, which is fine. This is Jordan versus Jay. This is the first battle of the Jays. Super interesting battle if you've been watching it. But sorry, time frame and schedule took up a lot. So it can go up to 25 weeks only, and the only reason I say that is because it includes like the week that we draft. It includes we give you a week before the first week of battles to not only breed and train, or if you are a power save your Pokemon. And then also there is one transfer window before the first week of battle, which is in between the week of prep and the first week of battle. Then that's the first transfer window where you can make like a trade and a wire. So we give players access to the wire for the first week of battle. And that is the time frame schedule. Now we're going to talk about player responsibilities. Boom, 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 boom. It's player responsibilities talk, guys. Wait, what was with the size, Zach? What? I'm asking you.
What?
You don't got a lot to say today. You seem pretty quiet. What's going on, man?
Because every time I say something, you interrupt me.
Well, no, I've just been on a lot of information. Well, this is a lot of information. I'm trying to make sure that it's all cohesive and not as bogged down. You know what I mean?
It's all good. Do your thing.
So what's up?
It's all good. Do your thing.
I mean, okay. Well, I need you to commentate too. If you have something to say about anything about player responsibilities, you know, cue it up. What's up? What do you have to say about player responsibilities?
What do I have?
I'm gonna pause this video.
What do I have to say about player responsibilities?
So it was your first season last year. What did you end up having to do that you didn't really expect that was what you had to do when you signed up originally?
I didn't expect to have to put so many different kind of teams together. I've stressed this a lot, but you cannot keep bringing the same stuff every week because you're going to become predictable. And you don't want to become predictable in the draft league because then everybody knows how to, beat you. So you want to make sure you're bringing like some fresh stuff every week.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's all good. I understand. Bring fresh stuff every week. Keep it. Look at some niche ideas, some things that you might not have ever considered in doubles or singles or whatever. Get broad in your horizon. Try out new things.
Playtest, definitely.
Yeah. The resources are there.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of us veterans like myself, Zach sometimes is inclined to. William is a power saver. Sometimes he'll be able to help you out. Our cleaner Jay is a power saver. He signed up for those. Like, I mean, obviously, don't go out of pocket, like asking for everything from everybody. But like, if you need stuff, get in contact with them. We can get you stuff. So like, if you need to try out new things. And that includes like trying out new things on Pokemon you already have used. You know, try out different sets or different, like with a different ability, you know? Try to mix it up. And then that feeds back into what I was talking about with the transfer window. So in the transfer window, that's also your chance to kind of mix your team up, maybe play around with your core a little bit, you know what I mean, depending on what's on the wire. Or a trade you get.
And sure, you can ask anybody. Towards the end of season 2, I was using Showdown almost every week to proxy against my opponent.
So, yeah.
I would ask Steven, or I would ask somebody, to hop up on Showdown and bring up some Pokemon that I felt like my opponent might have brought. And we would kind of play test, and I can see like what works and what doesn't. And it actually helped me a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, a lot of times, Jay helped me see something that, I didn't really expect, or like Steve showed me like how OP this team combination was, and I was like, all right, this isn't working. I need to completely start from scratch and bring something different. So use that, use other people, if you need help.
If you can, if you feel like you can trust another player, like definitely get in contact with them. You can strategize with other players. You can ask for battle advice on Pokemon from other players if you feel like you can trust them that way.
Okay. I hate to interrupt you, but should we queue up these videos so that we can get these?
We already we ran through the middle video.
So
I paused it on this is the third video.
Wait, what?
You want to go back? You want to go back to the other one? They already watched.
Okay.
I paused it on this one because I wanted to talk more about the next things before we get into live battles, because I just want to make sure we get it all done.
That's all good. I understand.
So,
I'm actually go ahead and get to your next point. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, good. Okay, well, put some teams together. You know what I mean about.
I already have my teams together. I was working on that while you were talking.
Doubles and stuff too.
That's what I thought we were doing. Yeah.
I mean, doubles and battle royale. Anyway, continuing player responsibilities. Now it's just me. Player responsibilities are that you coordinate with your players that you're fighting. That you communicate with the group. I mean, you don't have to be a member of the group chat or whatever, which we use Facebook Messenger for. But you can post direct posts onto the page to ask questions. We'll respond. Communication is one of your responsibilities. You don't have to be communicating with us all the time, but if there's something that comes up, something you need help with, or coordinating your battle with your player, those are your responsibilities, and we expect that out of all the players that are signing up for the league this season. So that's one of the things that you just have to do if you're gonna sign up. Gotta have you be responsible for that. And then I know. Okay, yeah, I know. And I know I had something else about that. Oh yeah, we use this to maintain an active and open season. This includes discussing your match timing, posting a picture of your replay, which I did go over, but yes, you are responsible. When you battle your opponent, you have to save the replay. One of you has to post it. If you lost and you're salty, still save it, but just in case your opponent doesn't. But like, you don't have to post it. You can have your opponent post it, but the battles have to be posted once your battle's computed. And we expect that you communicate, general shit talk with the rest of us. Rest assured, a lot of business take place in DM, so don't be afraid to DM your opponent or other players if you need help. Also, you can be added to the group chat, and that's basically most of your responsibilities. Sticking to the above-mentioned schedule that we talked about, knowing your time frames. 11:59 is a snipe time on Friday night, so be careful about that. People are going to be out there just ready to cannibalize the wire. And just, if you can fulfill those player responsibilities, man, every week for the season, then, perfect. You're able to play. Oh, also, you're responsible for making your team and getting it ready and having it ready. And I can't stress this enough, if you're a player, we do not allow you to battle on Showdown for the league. You can practice on Showdown. You can do mock teams on Showdown. You cannot battle on Showdown for your official match. Sorry, you just can't.
So you want to get back into this player fatigue?
Yeah, that's funny, because that's the next topic. Boom, boom, boom. Player fatigue and disclaimer, you guys. It's basically me trying to let you know that there is such a thing as player fatigue, and this is something that some of us suffered. It was late. Admittedly, it was late in the season last year, but we suffered from it. We were all kind of tired, especially in playoffs. Like, some of us were lackluster. Some of us dropped from playoffs, unfortunately, due to like family reasons, etc. Whatever would happen. But player fatigue was real. And then after the season, because we were all so exhausted, like, we didn't even really talk a lot for a while. We didn't battle for sure. We were just like ghosted after the season. Everybody kind of took a break. And then we picked back up in preparation for season 3. It wasn't very long. It was like 2 months after the season that we were like talking again. But player fatigue is very real, man. Like, even though you only play one match a week, it might not seem like that much of a match, but you have to get creative with new strategies every week. And it can be taxing, man. You got to keep in mind that if you aren't prepared to wade through the player fatigue, like, please don't sign up, man. And that I'm gonna continue this William video. I don't know if you're where I'm at because it started. Let me just go previous and then forward.
What time are you at?
I'm at pause it. Just go ahead and start with me. You ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3, go. I started it over. So that's just gonna be in the background. So yeah, that's just a disclaimer, man. If you don't think that you can keep up with one battle a week over the course of 15 to 25 weeks, and that's a lot of time. I know, like, you might not be thinking about it, but that's a lot of time, man. If you can't keep up with that, that's fine. No hard feelings. You can still be a member of the league. You can keep up with the crap talk and the streams and stuff, but just don't sign up for the season so that we don't have anybody dropping. This is really just because we don't want people to drop in the middle of the season. We had that happen last season, and it really kind of threw a wrench in the season. Almost ended season 2, and we learned a lot from that and how to kind of barrel roll out of that. But like, it had a huge impact. So we basically are saying, if you can't make this commitment, please don't join the league, because like, we need you to be there for the competition. And we have 12 players already that are going to be there every week doing it. So, and a lot, like I said, a lot of them have kids. It's really not that hard, but player fatigue is real, and you need to be prepared for it. And finally, my last point. Zach, you had something to say about that?
No, you're good.
My last point in this whole thing here is sign up and how to. So I'm going to go ahead and repost our Facebook link into the Twitch chat for you guys to check out. I should really, you can actually click the social media tab on our About Us down here. Not the About Us, but the social media tab next to it. That'll take you right to our Facebook page, but for those of you that are not into that, here is our Facebook link. join the league. Once you get approved, you can go to the pin post. It'll have all the same information that I just spouted off at you in words, written down a lot more cohesively, but it is a long little document, so we did this video to kind of ease that up, you know what I mean? And basically join up, go to the pin post, say you want to join, and then finally we'll cut off the preliminary roll call, and we'll do one final roll call in December, the first week of December. We haven't decided the exact date. We'll do the first round of the final round of the roll call where we finally do finalize the players. This is your that would be your last chance to back out if you're not going to play or if you don't think you can. And then we finalize our player count, finalize our draft list. All the players will have access to look at the draft list before the season starts, and that's when we're going to start basically generating draft order and matchups. So that's how that's going to go, and you'll end up getting access to your matchups probably before the draft even, and we'll also schedule the draft during that time. And that's pretty much it as far as the PLC roll call goes, guys. I know it's a lot to go over there. We still got stuff to do, obviously, but I know that was a lot to go over, but I hope you listen, because that's just basically everything about the league basic.
Yep.
There you go.